All right, in this video, we're now subtracting integers. So, of course, we have that St. James heading at the top, so you know you got to write that first. So pause the video if you need to, if you don't have it already written down. You have the St. James heading at the top. Then you write Chapter 2, Section 5, underline in red, of course, and then subtracting integers, and this is part 1. So, of course, that means there's a part 2. But that also means that if you're looking for part 2, you're in the wrong video. Okay, so subtracting integers. Okay, let me just start with an example to help explain. So if I have 8 minus 13. 8 minus 13. Okay, so I like to use the number line as an example. We go to 0. Start at 0. And we're going to go all the way to 8. Okay, but now we're going to subtract 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I'm going to get a negative 5. That's what we're doing. We're subtracting, but now we're going to be into negative numbers. You have subtracted before. You've done things like 8 minus 3. So you've always subtracted integers before. So subtracting integers, that's what our title is all about in this video. You've done that before. That would be 5. The difference between the two problems is now you're going to have negative numbers when subtracting. Just like when you had when you added integers, you had some negative numbers. Now subtracting will have some negative numbers. Okay? Using number lines, you're always, always, always allowed to use a number line. Always. Okay, so just be confident that you're always welcome to draw or write a number line on the top of your page, whatever you need to do. Okay, so if I have positive 10 minus 7, you're going to say, sister, this is so silly. But again, it's just practicing that we start at 0 and we go to positive 10 on the number line. And now we're going to subtract 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we get 3. Now, with that kind of problem, you think this is ridiculous, sister. Seriously. Okay, and I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, okay? But when we get to more complicated numbers, you need to keep the number line, at least the image of the number line, in your head. Because what if I just change one little thing? Just going to change one little thing to that original problem. I'm going to write negative 10 minus 7. What about negative 10 minus 7? Okay, again, I start at 0, but now I go all the way to negative 10. And now I'm going to subtract, still going left. Subtract, remember negative means O, but subtraction means I'm going to O more. I'm going to subtract 7. So it goes 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if the number line went this far, it would say what? Negative 17. Okay? Always use the number line if you need to. I mean, you don't have to, but you're always welcome to. You're always allowed to use a number line. And look how one sign is negative 10. Now we're starting at negative 10. Look how different your answer is. It's a very different answer. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay? You're always allowed to use a number line. Okay? What about 6 minus 12? Okay, remember, this is a positive 6. If it's nothing's written there, then it's positive. Positive 6 minus 12. Okay, what you need to ask yourself is my answer going to be positive or negative? Is my answer going to be positive or negative? Hopefully you're saying this to yourself right now. Is it positive or negative? It's a negative answer, so I'll write it in red, just like the other videos. I'll write it in red, and it's going to be negative what? Negative what? I can use a number line to help. We can use a number line to help. Let's bring the number line down just to help us out here. Okay, so here's our problem. We're at positive 6, so I'm going to go to positive 6. And now I'm going to subtract 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I subtract 12 and I get negative 6. So I knew my answer was negative. I just got to figure out how negative, how much, how negative, how much did I owe in that case. Okay, how much did I owe? Okay, you just got to get comfortable with picturing that number line in your head. So if I have negative 20 minus 15, okay, so again, picture this number line. All right, I'm at negative 20, and I'm going to subtract 15. Which way on the number line will I go? If you're picturing it in your mind, which way on the number line? I'm going to go left. I'm going to keep going left. It's going to get more negative. So it's going to be a negative answer, and it's going to be negative 35. Okay, negative 35. Let's try another one. What's negative 22 minus 26? Okay, I'm at negative 22. I'm going to subtract 26. So I'm going to go left on the number line. It's going to get more negative. So it's going to be negative 48. Okay. Again, we're just, these problems, you just have to do it. You do it over and over and over and over and over again. All right. Here comes an interesting problem. What happens when we subtract a negative number? And you're like, aren't we doing that? Not necessarily. Here's an example. If I have 1 minus a negative 2, I'm subtracting, but I'm subtracting a negative number. And I get all fanatical. I say, oh, messy, 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 messy. Very sad. Messy. Okay. How do I clean up this messiness? How do I clean up this messiness? Remember, every integer has to have one sign or one operation in front of it. So it's going to be 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to color things a little bit here. I'm subtracting, but a negative. So see how one's green and one's red? Okay. Picture that subtraction sign as the green one. And then the negative part from the 2 as the upright. So it becomes, ta-da, plus 2. So when you subtract a negative, you're adding. When you subtract a negative, you're adding. So we're going to write that down. When you subtract a negative, you add. Smiley face. Okay, you add. When you subtract a negative, you add. And I like to picture the 2 different colors, and it makes a plus sign. Okay, so 1 plus 2 actually gives you 3, because it went from 1 minus a negative 2 being 1 plus 2. Okay, let's try another one. I feel like you're not convinced. Oh, and I'm losing my steps here. That's not good. All right, so let's try another one. I have negative 10 minus a negative 7. Okay, it's similar to the problem from before. Similar, but not quite. If I make this different color and I go, oh my goodness, messiness, messy, messy, sad face. I don't like messy things. Okay, let's rewrite it. So how do I rewrite it? Remember, I'm going to rewrite it. And the minus sign is going to be one color. And the negative is going to be red. Okay, so it becomes positive. Ta-da! Right? It becomes positive. So you have negative 10. Negative 10. You owe me money. That's why it's red. Negative 10 plus 7 gives me what? Is it going to be a positive or negative answer? Positive or negative? It's going to be negative. Negative what? Negative 3. Okay? So when you subtract a negative, you add. You're adding. When you subtract a negative, you add. When you subtract a negative, you add. You can keep saying that a million times if you need to. When you subtract a negative, you add. Let's try another one. So 4 minus a negative 12. Okay. All right. So let's see. Step 2. Okay, we get to rewrite. Messy. Eventually, you don't have to write messy, because maybe you'll just remember that's messy. So then it's 4, and then minus a negative 12. Okay? So I get 4 plus 12, making it very simply 16. Clean up the messiness. We don't like messiness. We don't like messiness. Don't like messiness. All right. Your problem for next class. Okay. All right, here we go. Problem for next class. Negative 15 minus a negative 5. Okay, negative 15 minus a negative 5. Get it done before you come to class and be ready for next class. See you next class.